staff is working over there to put up the agenda. There we go. And we've activated live stream. So you'll probably get the notification. We do live stream this meeting to our YouTube site as well. The meeting will be conducted virtually under AB 361, which allows us to continue these virtual meetings. So any comments from the public, please do submit them as on the first page of the agenda to the email address listed there. And staff will be happy to let you into the meeting and provide any public comments you may have.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And we will start off then this morning, our meeting. As many of you know, Roger Chandler recently passed, and we are so sorry for his family's loss and for all of his friends and family, the city of Arcadia. And for us, Roger had been a member of this committee for 20 years. At any rate, I wanted to very briefly take this time and dedicate this meeting in Roger's memory and read just a brief little bio on Roger. A lion of the city council and a pillar of the public service, Mr. Chandler lived in Arcadia for over 40 years and served in the city served on the city council for nearly 24 years. As a lifelong servant of the public good, Mr. Chandler began his career at 21, joining the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, where he served with distinction for 24 years. After retiring from the Sheriff's Department, he went on to become the chief of police of the Los Angeles City Housing Authority. And in 1994, he created the City of Hawaiian Gardens Police Department. Mr. Chandler was elected to 6 terms on the Arcadia City Council, serving 4 times as mayor. During his career on the city council, he consistently demonstrated a commitment to ensuring Arcadia residents receive outstanding public services and was particularly focused on public safety and water quality issues. Mr. Chandler was well known as a force for his common sense approach to the city's municipal affairs. And we want to thank Roger for all of his hard work as well on this committee. And with that, again, we dedicate this meeting in memory of Roger Chandler. And we will move on to for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I've asked Robert Gonzalez from Azusa if he could please lead us in the pledge.
Thank you, Becky. Please stand if you can. Please place your hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robert. Okay, we will move on then to our roll call. And Cecilia, I wanted to, let me take this time right now. Cecilia Contreras is our new clerk of our board, and this is her first governing board meeting, our Board of Trustees meeting. And so Cecilia, welcome.
Thank you, President Sheldon. Hello to the board. Thank you. I appreciate the welcome, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you. So if we could now just proceed with our roll call.
Yes. Alhambra.
Here.
Azusa.
Present.
Bradbury.
Here.
Claremont.
Frank Kalaka, present.
Covina.
I'm here.
Duarte.
Margaret Finley, present.
Almonte.
Present.
Glendora.
Present.
Industry.
Here.
Irwindale.
Irwindale's here.
La Puente.
Present.
Laverne.
Present.
Los Angeles County.
Jamie Bisner, present.
Monrovia.
Here, I'm sorry, I had muted myself.
Thank you. Monterey Park,
Here.
Pasadena, Pomona,
Here.
Rosemead,
Sandra Armenta present.
San Dimas,
Ryan Vienna present.
San Gabriel,
Present.
Sierra Madre, South Pasadena,
Joe here.
Temple City, Walnut,
Hello here.
West Covina.
I'm here.
Thank you. And with that, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And with that, now moving on to item 1.4, our order of business. Do we have any changes to our order of business this morning?
Sorry, I'll answer that, no problem. Yeah, we do not have any changes that have been requested.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on then, item 2, opportunity for public comment. Do we have any public comment this morning?
We do not.
Okay, and then not seeing either any raised hands. So we will close public comment and we will move on then to item 3, which is consider resolution number 21-05, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the San Gabriel Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District proclaiming a local emergency, ratifying the proclamation of a state of emergency on March 4th, 2020 by California Governor Gavin Newsom, and authorizing remote teleconference meetings of the legislative bodies of the San Gabriel Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District for the period commencing December 10th and running until January 9th pursuant to the applicable Brown Act provisions. And with that, unless there are any questions, comments on that.
Madam President, I move approval by Claremont.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Did we have any public comment on this item?
No, we did not. And if I could get clarification, I had a motion by Claremont and a second by who?
Sandoval, Pomona.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And having a motion and second, no objections going forward. Can we please have a roll call vote?
Absolutely. Alhambra,
Yes.
Azusa,
Yes.
Bradbury, Bradbury.
Yes.
Thank you. Claremont,
Yes.
Covina,
Yes.
Duarte,
Margaret Finley, yes.
Almonte,
Jerry Velasco, yes.
Glendora,
Yes.
Industry,
Yes.
Irwindale,
Irwindale, yes.
La Puente,
Yes.
Laverne,
Looks like Elise dropped out of the meeting and I just readmitted her. So we can come back to
thank you.
Laverne.
Los Angeles County,
LA County, aye.
Monrovia,
Yes.
Monterey Park,
Yes.
Pasadena,
Yes.
Pomona,
Yes.
Rosemead,
Yes.
San Dimas,
Yes.
San Gabriel,
Yes.
South Pasadena,
Yes.
Walnut,
Yes.
West Covina.
Yes.
And I just wanted to circle back to Laverne. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. With that, the motion passes.
Great, thanks very much. And now we'll move on to our consent calendar. And I'll just indicate that I know in the past we've been trying to do that, the polling type of a roll call. And At any rate, it's taken, Jared did some investigation on this, and it actually was taking longer than our voice roll call vote. So at any rate, so we will do a roll call vote, but first, obviously, on item 4, the consent calendar. Those are items 4.1 through 4.6, 4.7, excuse me. And unless we have some requests for either pulling any item or questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, Azusa.
Thank you. Did you get that, Cecilia, the motion and second? I think that was Henry. Henry, was that you for the motion?
Yes, it was.
Yes, okay, thank you. And Robert on the second. Okay, did we have any public comment on our consent calendar?
We do not know.
Okay, thank you. Then we will proceed then with a roll call vote.
Thank you. Alhambra,
Yes.
Azusa,
Yes.
Bradbury,
Yes.
Claremont,
Yes.
Covina,
Yes.
Duarte,
Margaret Finley, yes.
Almonte,
Yes.
Glendora,
Yes.
Industry,
Yes.
Irwindale,
Yes.
Apuente,
Yes.
Laverne,
Yes.
LA County,
Bisner, aye.
Monrovia,
Yes,
Monterey Park,
Yes.
Pasadena,
Yes.
Pomona,
Yes.
Rosemead,
Yes.
San Dimas,
Yes.
San Gabriel,
Yes.
South Pasadena,
Yes.
Walnut,
Yes.
West Covina.
Yes.
Great. With that, the motion passes.
thank you very much. We'll move on to item 5, which would be presentations. We have none this morning, so moving on to item 6, presentation of candidates for the 2022 executive officers of President, Vice President, President-elect, Secretary, Treasurer for the Board of Trustees. And I believe, Rick, if you're still on the line, that is you, Rick, Mr. Bearcat.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
I can hear you.
Hi. I'm kind of at a disadvantage being on the phone driving right now. If someone could take over for me on this, I would appreciate that.
Certainly.
Because I don't want to
Jared-
be reading while I'm driving.
Okay. Gee, I wonder why. Jared is good. I'm not sure anyone else that was on the committee, if they wanted to pick that up, or if Jared, you wanted to take that item.
I would be happy to if any other member of that committee doesn't want to. It's a brief one, but the committee convened. We discussed many candidates for President, Vice President, and Secretary Treasurer for our slate of officers for 22 through 24. As you know, these are 2-year appointments, a little bit different than some of the boards you may sit on. And the committee came to consensus that with my impending departure from the district, it would be in the best interest of the agency to have continuity of our leadership with Becky Shevlin as recommended for president. And then a strong suggestion and a consensus from the group for John Kaposha for vice president, president-elect. And then to maintain Lloyd Johnson as Secretary Treasurer. He's doing an outstanding job at fulfilling the duties of that role for the last 2 years, and we thank him for his service. So that would be your slate of officers proposed for the January meeting. So next month, the board will take a vote and to appoint these individuals. So that's about the summary of that meeting.
Okay, and at this point, it doesn't have a vote on there, but I would think that we do have to vote on the slate, or we just approve it then in January. Is that correct, Kelly?
I apologize, I was muted. Yes, that is correct. It will be, this was a presentation of the slate. The formal election, as Mr. Deaver said, will be in January.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions or comments from any of the board members? Not seeing any raised hands. Okay, did we have any public comment on this matter?
No, we did not.
Okay.
Sandoval, move to approve.
Okay, and Tim, we don't actually have a motion, and on this one, we don't have a vote. We will vote in January. This was just
Oh.
for announcing the slate.
I thought it would be an early Christmas
Hi,
present.
honey. Not so fast. Okay, all right. Hold on just 1 second here. And Jared, I'm really sorry. I think he sent me a message and I couldn't read it.
Right. No problem. So I have had a request from the district auditor, Paul Kimmark, to move his item before closed session, if that's acceptable with the board.
I think we can manage that. So we will go ahead, and that is item 8, correct?
Correct.
Okay, if there's no objection to that, I will go ahead then and move. We will move to item 8 right at this moment to accommodate Paul's schedule. And that is to consider final annual audit for fiscal year concluding June 30th, 2021. That's Exhibit 8A in your agenda packet. And so who should I turn it over to right now, Lloyd or to Paul?
We can go ahead and jump right to Paul, and if he wants to present the contents of the draft audit.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We had a chance to meet yesterday afternoon with the Finance Committee and to discuss the audit yesterday. So as we move through this report, if we can move to that again to that page 31, I believe, of the exhibit here.
Yeah, and for those of you that are new online, this speaking is Paul Kimmark from Nigro. And so thank you, Paul, for being with us this morning and giving us this report.
Thank you. Thank you. So if we go up, no, sorry, let's go to 22. I'm sorry, it was 22. One more page. There you go. So for how the agency did for the year here, we show the expenditures between the two periods here. Salaries and wages had gone up a little bit, employee benefits as well. Materials and services pretty much stayed the same, insurance the same, and depreciation expense that came in there between the two periods. Now that's a non-cash number. So we look at total expenditures, 5.5 million versus 4.9 million between the two periods there. But that does include a lot of non-cash for pension, for your OPEB, for vacation payable, and as we look here, depreciation expense. So there's a difference between cash and how we look at net position. Property assessments, 5.296 versus 5.293. Looks like we collected it all for the two periods there. We had a little bit of increase there, maybe a little additions of some. Penalties and fees on assessments, as people, we know during the COVID period, some people had a problem paying their property taxes on time, and some of that became into a penalty on fees and assessments. And of course, what's today? Property tax day, December 10th, the day I fear paying my property tax on the home and apartments. So investment earnings and change in value. The investment earnings here is a little bit in the difference there as a negative, because not only your funds are held in LA County and LAIF for investment, there is a amount of money that you earn of true interest, but because it's invested in all the other investments of LA County and of LAIF that they have, there is what we call a fair value increment of that. And that was about $30,000 that we added in 2020, but then that fell off in 2021 because a lot of those good maturities that LA County and LAIF had, well, those matured and they didn't have anything new to buy. there was nothing long to buy at a good interest rate because we know where interest rates are right now. So unfortunately, the technique is if LA County or LAIF were to stop operations at June 30th and sell their entire portfolio, you would receive that. So that's why we booked that in 2020. But of course, the unrealized gains applies in 2021 and it throws it back the other way. So when we're looking at overall change in that position, a negative 182,263 for the year. But of course, remember, this has a lot of non-cash impact. If we could go to 2 more pages to page, I believe maybe 24 or 25, 1 more page, please. 25. This application is on a cash basis. Okay, so we'll see how the organization did on cash without any of the non-cash aspects in there. Total revenues, 5.3 million. Total expenditures, which include capital outlay for improvements that you've done to the building there and other things. Principal payments, you've paid off the rest of your debt on your capital leases for the vehicles, as well as the interest, so you're debt free now. But that's total expenditures cash out, like on a checkbook method, your total cash out is 560. So the positive here is that the district added 266,427 to your reserves, okay, for the next year. And if we can go to the next page, this really shows it. As Jared pointed out yesterday, we start with your governmental funds. There's your positive 266. And when we move through the non-cash applications of compensated absences increasing, OPEB increasing, net change in pension liability increasing, your capital outlay that you spent on new infrastructure, and then your depreciation expense. So that's your total all the way down, plus the principal you paid. So there's a total of 448,690 in non-cash application that lowers your net position, but on a cash basis, you're positive 266,427. And I think that's what's to take of it, a good year overall, adding that to your reserves. Any questions?
Thank you. Do we have any questions, or does the chair of that committee, Lloyd, do you have any comments?
No, yes, thank you, Madam President. Yes, yesterday we had a great meeting. We discussed it. And I think that we want to discuss now, if I recall, we want to bring it up. You know, we have over $200-some thousand there in the reserve. We want to use that pay down on our pension to bring that liability down. It's something that the board figured that we need to talk about. We recommended it to bring it to the full board, and it's up to the full board to see if they want to pass it.
And Jared, is that's something that we have to bring to our next meeting? Is that correct? That particular or specific item?
That is correct. So we began that discussion yesterday, and I wanted to wait to have that discussion with the Finance and Audit Committee until this draft audit was completed. So we all had clarity in terms of the position of the agency and any available funds that we could allocate for that purpose. So the Finance and Audit Committee will need to convene one more time, hopefully in late December or very early January, so that we can get the draft mid-year budget on the agenda for January, so that the board can consider additional allocation of pre-funding for pension and OPEB to reduce this liability and help improve our net position moving forward.
Thank you. And Mr. Johnson, do you have any other further comments, or anyone from your committee?
I have no other comments. Like I said, Madam President, it was a great meeting. We discussed a lot of things, and we did agree with Jared that, you know, what we need to do with it. So if any other members want to say anything, now's your time.
Okay, not seeing any raised hands on this. Did we have any public comment on this item?
No, we did not.
Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you to the committee for bringing this item to us. And we'll look forward then in January for the mid-term review, and hopefully spending some of that money towards bringing our OPEB obligation down. At any rate, okay, we will close that item then now.
So
and
we will need to approve the draft.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes,
Sorry.
small details to
No
to
problem.
approve the audit. Do we have a motion and a second?
I'll make a
So
motion.
moved.
Second.
Okay, I think we had actually Lloyd made the motion,
Yes.
and then the second was
I think it was Henry Morgan Covina got in there.
That's correct.
okay. So we have a motion and a second, and can we go ahead then and have our roll call vote?
Yes, thank you. Alhambra,
Yes.
Azusa,
Yes.
Bradbury,
Yes.
Claremont,
Yes.
Covina,
Yes.
Duarte,
Duarte, yes.
Almonte,
Yes.
Glendora,
Yes.
Industry,
Yes.
Irwindale,
Yes.
La Puente,
Yes.
Laverne,
Yes.
LA County,
Yes.
Monrovia,
Yes.
Monterey Park,
Yes.
Pasadena,
Yes.
Pomona,
Yes.
Rosemead,
Yes.
San Dimas,
Yes.
San Gabriel,
Yes.
South Pasadena,
Yes.
Walnut,
Yes.
West Covina.
Yes.
Thank you. And with that, the motion passes.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, now moving into our closed session pursuant
Thank you,
to
Madam
government.
President. Thank you, everybody. You all have a happy holidays. I'll put a bow on this and get it finalized for you next week. Goodbye.
You too. Thank you. Then moving on to our closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, subsection B, title of position interim district manager. And Cecilia, I don't know how we're working our closed session this morning, if we have to leave, come back, or if you're just moving us all over.
Yes, I will actually be moving you all into a breakout room. So
Okay,
we're
great.
ready for that. Yeah, 1 moment, please.
Okay, you should see a little message there in the middle of your screen to join the breakout room. Please join now.
Hi, excuse me. The phone number ending in 934. Can you clarify who that is, please? Hi, 934. Hi.
Yes,
Hello.
Manuel Garcia, Earlville.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and move you into that breakout room. Hi, good morning, John. Can you hear me? Hello, Trustee Caposcio. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, they're in closed session. I'm going to go ahead and move you into the breakout room, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay. So Cecilia, let us know when we have all members back in open session. That looks like everybody to me. Do you have a
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like we're all back in.
perfect? Okay, the floor is yours, Madam President.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, if we could have a report out of our closed session from our legal counsel, Kelly Black.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning. The board met in closed session to consider the item listed on the agenda. After discussion, the board has come to a consensus and is now looking to entertain a motion as follows. The board is elected to select Mr. Jason Farned as the interim district manager to serve for a period of no more than 1 year, commencing on February 2nd, 2022. And the board would like to direct staff to prepare an employment contract for consideration as part of the agenda of the board's January meeting. That concludes the report.
Thank you very much. Now, do we have then, given that, now do I have to ask for public comment? We were in closed session, but since we're taking a vote to ask for public comment?
I'll jump in. Oh, sorry, Kelly, we're on mute.
Sorry.
That's okay.
If there are any comments, now would be the appropriate time. Yes.
Yes. Okay, do we have any public comment or otherwise? Not seen. Was there anything on your end, Cecilia?
No, there's not.
Okay, great. With that, then, do we have, Kelly just recited the motion. Do we have a motion from the board members to approve the appointment of Mr. Farnham?
I saw Trustee Dornick, you had your hand up.
I just was moving to approve.
Okay.
No, second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Can we please take a roll call vote?
Yes. Alhambra,
Yes. Yes.
thank you. Azusa,
Yes.
Bradbury,
Yes.
Claremont,
Yes.
Covina, I'm sorry, Covina,
That's okay. We can come back to Trustee
yeah.
Morgan.
Duarte,
Finley, yes.
Almonte,
Yes.
Glendora,
Yes.
Industry,
Yes.
Irwindale,
Irwindale, yes.
La Puente,
La Pony, yes.
Laverne,
Yes.
LA County,
Definitely yes.
Monrovia,
Yes.
Monterey Park,
Yes.
Pasadena,
Yes.
Pomona,
Yes.
Rosemead,
Yes.
San Dimas,
Yes.
San Gabriel,
Yes.
Sierra Madre,
Yes.
South Pasadena,
Can I, if you're not speaking, could you please mute your mic? Thank you.
South Pasadena,
I think we may have lost Trustee Joe.
okay.
Yeah.
Walnut,
One all yes.
West Covina,
Yes.
thank you. Can I circle back to Covina? Henry Morgan, are you there? Can I get your vote? No.
And Cecilia, I do see that Robert's iPad, that should be Bob Joe, is rejoining the meeting. So if we just give him one moment, it looks like he's coming in now.
Perfect.
Okay, I see him on our active participants list. So Trustee Joe, we just took roll call vote for the approval of the agenda item that we discussed in closed session, but we didn't have your vote. Looks like you got kicked out of the meeting. I still. And Madam President, you can move on if you'd like.
Okay.
If
All
I
right.
can, I'll go back with Bob.
Okay, thank you very much. And congratulations to Jason. Jason and Jared, I keep on going, I go back and forth. At any rate, congratulations to Jason on his appointment. Okay, moving on then to item 9, consider personnel and policy handbook revision request for proposal. And I am going to turn this one over to Jared.
So we do have a request to table this item. There has been a request for additional information that staff is working to gather currently. So we've had several requests to pull this item.
Thank you very much. And so that will be coming back to us at a future meeting.
Correct.
Okay. Then moving then to, and did we have any public comment on that item?
No, we did not.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on then to item 10, trustee service pin presentation. Those at 10.1 and 10.2. And as I indicated earlier in the meeting, Trustee Roger Chandler would have received his 20-year pin. And so you can see the image of the pin right there. And we will be getting that pin to Roger's family. But Jared, did you have, and obviously, and Cynthia is not here this morning, correct?
I do not see her online.
And we had a second pin for Trustee Cynthia Sternquist from the city of Temple City, and that is her 10-year pin. Did we have any comments from any of our trustees this morning regarding? Okay, not seeing any. Did we have any public comment, Cecilia?
No, we did not.
Okay, thank you. So we thank those trustees for their many years of service, 20 years for Roger Chandler and 10 years for Trustee Cynthia Sternquist. Moving on then to item 11, district administration. Jared.
Okay, as we discussed previously in a review of our draft fiscal audit, the Finance and Audit Committee will need to convene rather quickly, either at the end of this month or the beginning of January, to discuss OPEB and pension prepayment strategies, and also to consider and review the mid-year draft mid-year draft budget, so that we can get both of those items on the agenda for January. We do have trustee terms of office expiring. You'll notice that list went from 10 a couple of months ago down to just 2 cities remaining that need to either reappoint their current member to the board or to appoint another individual. And I know Cecilia has been working hard with their cities to get the items on their agendas for consideration, and both of those should be resolved pretty quickly here before the end of their terms in December, hopefully. And then Cecilia, you were working with the city of Baldwin Park to help them make an appointment to this body. We haven't had a trustee from Baldwin Park for about the last 2 years. So we really do need representation from that city as well. And then an update on the Azusa annexation. I want to end our meeting on a positive note. We started the annexation process for a very, very small portion of the city of Azusa that was left out of the district during the LAFCO movement back in the early 2000s. And so this is part of a big effort from LAFCO to try to clean up. I know I think we're 2.5 years into this annexation of 77 acres of a very small enclave of the city of Azusa. And I thank Margaret for her support on LAFCO. She was instrumental with Catherine Barger's office many years ago to try to fill in the jurisdictional gaps of mosquito control agencies throughout Los Angeles County and ensure that every single portion of Los Angeles County was served by a vector control agency and that there wasn't any service islands or service donuts as they're described. So we finally got this done. So thank you again, Margaret, for your support and all the support from the LAFCO staff, which are just awesome. I love working with them.
All right.
And Jared, can you point out where we stand, where our district stands, though, in the cleanup process?
So I'm happy to announce, although 2.5 years sounds like a long time to get 77 acres into a jurisdiction, but we're actually the first of the 5 vector control agencies to complete our annexation. So we were actually pretty far ahead of schedule compared to the other agencies. So I'll take it as a win.
Great job. Do we have any questions of our district manager this morning? I'm not seeing any, but great job on that, Jared. And then did we have any public comment on our district administration report?
We did not, no.
Okay, thank you very much. Jared, is that it? I kind of cut you off there.
Nope, all good.
Okay, great. And then item 12, committee reports. I know obviously we already had a report out from Personnel and Policy Committee. Is there anything more that anyone wants to say on behalf of that committee? Okay, and then Public Information Committee, I understand, Mr. Velasco, that committee did meet. Did you have comments regarding the Public Information Committee?
Yes, just very, very briefly, thank you. November 16th at 10 a.m., Public Information Committee, we met for a quarterly update regarding the district outreach and educational activities. There was only one agenda item, and it was a presentation. Staff presented about the strategic warning and repetitive messaging strategy, also known as SWARM, S-W-A-R-M. This strategy allows the district to continue its high-quality outreach despite changes to COVID-19 restrictions. And one major project that was launched recently was the Journey of the Germ. And the Journey of the Germ is an interactive mobile experience that teaches users how to stay safe from the West Nile virus. Also, the Journey of the Germ addresses the need to increase our educational programs into more classrooms and homes, which is very much needed. The online experience is available on Android and an Apple device, as well as online. And we encourage everyone to visit the www.journeyofthegerm.org to learn more. In addition, staff presented new ways of using digital advertising such as Hulu and to reach out to our residents. Also, something that was lastly, the district rolled out the second year of Operation Mosquito Grid. This is a citizen science project that teaches students how to stop the invasive mosquitoes. There was one recommendation by the committee to reach out to the organizations to assist with Chinese-speaking communities in our district. Any trustees whose cities have experienced communication with the Chinese-speaking families is encouraged to call Levy Sun. And basically that was it. And there was no other items. And the agenda at the agenda, and we adjourn approximately at 10:44 a.m. And that was
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any comments for the Public Information Committee? Okay, not seeing any. Then we also had a report out from Finance and Audit, and they will be meeting again. Are there any further comments from the Finance and Audit Committee? Okay, not seeing any. Did we have any public comment on the committee report, Cecilia?
No, we did not.
Okay, great. Okay, item 13, trustee reports. Do we have any reports of trustees? Okay, Brian Vienna.
Thank you, ma'am. There is a chance due to a change in my work schedule and assignment that this may be my last meeting. So I am happy to share that there is a good chance that Mayor Bedard will return for a victory tour, and he will be back in action. So I'll know more definitively by the end of the month, and if so, pending my reassignment at work, the mayor may be back. So it's been an honor to serve with you guys, and if I in fact end up going.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you, and we will definitely miss you if you have to change, if your schedule changes, but we'll be glad also to have Emmett back. So, okay, any other trustee reports? Any comments? Okay, not seeing any. I did want to say thank you for your vote of confidence on the approval of the slate of officers, or the presentation of the slate of officers, and I will endeavor to serve you well going forward, but obviously have to be actually elected in January. Then with that, do we have any new business?
I've received no requests for new business.
Okay. All right. Well, not seeing any other business that we need to conduct today. I want to thank you for joining us. And I wish everyone a very, very happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And we won't be meeting back here then until after the first of the year. So a very happy New Year's celebration as well. Everyone stay safe and be healthy. And we will see you next time. Thanks very much. And we are adjourned at 8:04. Thank you.
Thank you. Merry
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, Jared.
Merry Christmas, buddy. We'll see you next year.
You sure will, buddy.